Okay.
Just...
Hi, friends. This is Veena from VPN Pages. Welcome to my show, Spark Talk with VPM. Today, we have very special guest who says, follow your passion, not your age. Mrs. Sudha Dikshit, who was born and brought up in UP. Presently, she settled in Bangalore. She says she's doing what she always wanted to do, painting landscapes and portraits and writing poetry, articles on net, various magazines, including print media. She looks at nature with myopic eyes and paints it wearing tinted glasses with poetry in her heart. She says poetry just happens. It acts as catharsis in her life, removing the toxin from her heart in the form of words on paper. This high spiritedness reveals itself in both her poems and paintings. Ma'am, we welcome you to our show. Thank you so much for being
Thank you.
here. Thank you, ma'am. Namaste. And
Yes.
over to you. Can you please introduce about yourself more? We would like to know more about yourself, your passion, and your career.
Well, Veena has already introduced me. My name is Sudha Dikshit. And well, I think, let me tell you, I have done my BA from Aligarh because my father was posted there, Aligarh University. But then he was transferred and I had to go to Lucknow, stay in a hostel, do my MA in English. And again, later, my father said, no more studies. And he was posted in Devariya, that is very close to Gorakhpur in UP, a small town. I wanted to do law. In fact, law, I wanted to study and keep studying, maybe doing PhD or anything. But PhD had no sense. My father wanted me to become an IAS officer. For that, law was a good subject. But I wanted to study in university. Now, Devariya had only college. I said, no way. And he said, no, I cannot afford it. So you might as well. We had a fight. The thing is, my brothers were also going to hostel. And now another brother was due. So one person has to step down. But
Yes.
as fate has it, there was since he was a judge, all the lawyers and other people were coming to greet him and welcome him and all that. So there was a lawyer who was lecturer in Banaras University in law. He came to greet my father and my father introduced me and all that because I had lost my mother quite early. There was no mother. So only children my father used to introduce. I was at that time I was eldest. My elder sisters were married. And since we had a fight, me and my father, I had a red face and I was quite glum. And Papa, we called Papa. So Papa laughed and said she is not in a good mood because we had a fight. So that chap asked him, why Jassa, why you had a fight? So he told that she wants to go to university, law, and I can't afford it. And he suddenly said, but Jassa, supposing you don't have to pay for it, would you send her? Hey, Papa said, what? What do you mean? He said that everywhere law is done in evening classes or morning classes in UP. And we want law to be a respectable profession. So we are opening a new department and we are inviting only high second class and first class, no third class, and no one doing MA and along with doing law, only law, like MA or BA or whatever. For that, we are giving scholarship. And my papa has already told him that I was a topper and all that. So he said, I presume she was a topper, she will get the scholarship. Papa was happy. Within a week, we went and I joined law. Anyway, to cut it short, I did law and all that. But instead of doing IAS, got married. See, initially did nothing but keeping the house, raising children, I have got 3 children and all that. And after that, when I found that my children don't need me anymore. Need me means no homework,
Yeah,
nothing.
they're grown up.
No, they are independent.
They're grown up.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Grown up. What to do? I ran that I will become a lecturer now. Like, no point. I can't become IAS. I was overage. Lecturer, overage? And they said, what is your experience? What experience? I read books. That's not enough. Did you teach? No. Sorry, you are disqualified. After gold medal and all that, I am disqualified. What is this? I was really sad. But then I thought and this and that. And anyway, I did real estate. I said, that is one thing no lady does. I will teach.
Wow, that's and very nice.
Yeah, everybody laughed at me. And they said, are you mad? I said, look, I am mad. I am mad. I have always been mad. जुनूनी बोलते हैं ना जिसको बस कुछ करना है.
Yes, yes. True, true.
पढ़ा नहीं सकते, अफसर नहीं बन सकते. Housewife, enough. I have enough of housewife.
You were done with that.
बर्तन माजना और कुकिंग करना, no way.
Yeah.
So other people, अरे इतना पढ़ लिख करके ये बेपढ़ा लिखो वाला काम वो तो पानवाड़ी भी करता है, पान बेचने वाला भी करता है रियल एस्टेट. I said, हाँ, पान वाला पान वाले की तरह करता है. I will do it in an educated way. And exactly. I did that. Again, to cut it short, initially people were curious. They came in hordes to see what lady is doing. They had nothing
what
to purchase.
Doing exactly. Yeah.
हाँ, कुछ खरीदना लेना देना नहीं था, शक्ल देखनी थी, बात करनी थी. But I entertained them. I knew that they are going to be my potential client. I was not going to fight with them because I need them. And then when I did my first deal, that fellow had come from Bombay. He was very happy, recommended me to 10 people. Or gali nikal padi. Then I did one, I mean, it is a landmark. I did one small 2-bedroom flat of Mr. Prabhu. He was the president of City Banks. I don't know whether he is still, I think, can't be. But that time he was the president, the highest post. And he was in London, whether I mailed him that I want to do it and I have done it. He called me. I couldn't call at that time. Calling London was all my pocket money will go. He called.
I know.
And he told me that I am Prabhu and you had emailed me and all that. I spoke to him and he spoke for quite some time. I think those people can afford it.
Yes.
And he said, I only want company lease. Fine. And I did that flat. He was so happy. He instructed all Citibank people. Everybody should go to Sudhanikshit. So by word of mouth, I got a good name and I did good business. Quite good business. I was quite happy. And all those who were laughing at me, especially my husband, shut up.
Actually, industries or position doesn't matter for people who really work hard, Dedication and hard work is necessary and it will take you places, that's all.
So, hard work and passion. I'm mad.
Exactly.
As you said, okay, I'm mad. And you can't do anything with that.
Yes, that madness. You just have to start somewhere, it will just take you places, yes.
Somewhere.
True, very true. Yes.
And sorry,
yes,
ये बिना पढ़े लिखे वाला काम, पानवाड़ी वाला काम, I did in an educated manner. I documented. I was a lawyer, so that suggestion also I could give. Halaki, I was out of touch, but still, I have a good memory. People appreciated that. They were happy with it. So
it's nothing to do with uneducated Panwala as such, because there are so many uneducated people also who have gained name and fame as well, like in their own ways. That truly says that it's their passion.
Passion? No. Besides passion, qualification matters. They do it in their own way. Educated people do it in a different way.
Yes.
That difference is there.
Yes.
And ladies are sensitive. That's another point. All the Marwadi people, they would leave their wives and the driver with car with me and happily go to their job. Their wives were safe with me. They couldn't do that with other agents. So there were so many factors. And
ma'am,
anyway,
yeah.
Sorry,
You're a
say.
painter. You're a painter. You're a writer. You're a poet.
I'm
So when do you realize that you had these in you? Like then there must be
coming to
some
that
age that
only.
you have. Yes. And did your family support you in following your passion? Because you said that your father was little, yeah, he was a little strict about your studies, or you were quite young when you got married. So your family was supportive enough to follow your passion?
See, my family, like my father, wanted me to be IAS officer. He was very supportive. And if anybody could see, oh, those days, don't send the daughter to hostel. My father said, you keep quiet, I know my daughter. If she wants to see university, she will go to university only. So that support I had. But those days, the moment you cross 19 and touch 20, you have to be married.
Yes.
Now, he was very modern, very broad-minded, but there were certain things he couldn't help. And finance
yes,
also.
he had to follow society. Yes, wait.
Yeah. So he said, no, you have to get married. And it was an arranged marriage, of course, because I didn't want to get married. So
all of us at that age, we don't want to get married.
Yeah, same. 20, he didn't let me cross 20. So, and then he said, you can still, you won't become IAS officer in the sense that DM, but UPSC exam you can go. Now, I didn't get that support from my in-laws. They said, "Hare, bahu kaam karegi?" Or moreover, the posting can be in any other city. So, are we fools? कि आप काम करेंगी और दूसरे शहर में जाके रहेंगी? No way. और खैर उसको छोड़ो, बात खत्म हो गई. एक हम भी बड़े ओबीडियंट और ड्यूटी माइंडेड थे कि भाई तो करना है etc. And later, after when I started real estate and 15 years I did, then I made a house. That's another landmark because my husband, every time I say, bhai, I want a house, हाँ हो जाएगा, भगवान के हाथ में, अरे भगवान के नहीं हमारे हाथ में है. Finally I said, he is not going to do it. I chose a land. It was in a jungle. He said, I don't like it. I said, okay, what you like, you can't afford. What you don't like, that doesn't matter. I'm going to buy it. I want it. I had money. I bought it. And then later, I said, let me go and build a house. Now, in jungle, when you are building a house, you are much away from the main city. Now it is part of the city, Bangalore. But that time, so I was not able to do justice with my real estate. I was very punctual. I was famous for being punctual. And with this problem, it was difficult because the road was very bad and all that driving. I used to drive my Jeep. And that was another thing. Jeep Wali Mem Sahab, I was famous. Jeep Wali Mem Sahab. That gave me a little,
it's a tough vehicle, in fact, for a ladies to drive. No,
exactly.
I was just saying, yeah. Yes. Okay. So then, ma'am, we have many ladies around us who think that they are old to follow their passion. Like the moment they are like 40 and above, they feel that they're old, maybe because they are handling their family, or maybe because of family restrictions, or maybe they feel shy to come out and to portray themselves, or they don't know how to start. Maybe they are in a confusion. So what do you have to tell those ladies? Because you came up to this show saying that follow your passion, not your age. So can you give some suggestions or advice for these ladies who feel that they're old and they are supposed to be at home?
In my opinion, age is a number. Yes, exactly. We grow old, we grow feeble, and all that. But your strength is in your mind. Because when I was a kid, I heard that Devendranath Tagore, father of Rabindranath Tagore, he did his PhD at the age of 76. This I heard when I was almost 6 or 7 years old. My father used to tell me. And I was impressed. And I said, yes, if he can do it. Later on, in anything, like, in kids also, you have that age problem. ये छोटा बच्चा कर सकता है, 4 साल का, ये 10 साल का नहीं कर सकता.
Yes.
But I remember, I said, anybody can do anything at any age if you want to do. So I would tell the ladies, there are certain restrictions, your health deteriorates, but if you are determined, you can do it. If not this,
exactly,
you can do that. But I
it's
could
not
become a lecturer.
Open up themselves. Yes, yes, very true.
I couldn't become officer, and I was very, by attitude, फितरतन मैं बहुत ऑफिसर हूँ, जज की बेटी हूँ, ऐसे ही.
It actually shows with your talk.
लेकिन नहीं बने ऑफिसर, भाई क्या करे. देन लेक्चरर, भाई पढ़े लिखे हैं, गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट हैं, टॉपर हैं थ्रू आउट. In high school and in my intermediate, I was in all India 10th position. I was hoping for first position, but you aim high and you reach nearby at least.
Yes, very true, very true. Good.
But in all over India, father was very proud. So keep your aim high. It can be little less. You may not reach your. So what? There are so many aims, not only one aim. So I would only. And second thing, instead of being, depressed, depression never helps. Like men always go to drink, which is very bad. It never helps. एक ही फॉर्मूला है हिंदी में, ना रो है दिल, कहीं रोने से तकदीरें बदलती हैं, रोने से नहीं बदलती, हिम्मत से बदलती है.
Yes.
And my husband was making fun of me. Other people were laughing. They thought they are laughing behind my back, but they were laughing actually in front of me. So this gave me more boost. कि अच्छा हंस लो बेटा, मेरा भी टाइम आएगा.
Yeah, sometimes it happens that our partners, they don't realize what they say, whether it hurts us or no. Yes, very true.
And they think instead of cooking in the kitchen, we are wasting our time. But frankly, I was so bored of cooking and doing household, this thing. When I started going to look for properties and rental places and to show to clients, I will take my Jeep and go 40 kilometers and 50 kilometers even to see farmhouses. I felt that I have got wings. All my wings, they were either clipped or they were wet, because I never allowed anybody to clip my wings. So I can say they were wet. I couldn't fly.
Right.
But I flew when I did my real estate. That was my happiest moment, frankly. And
very well said, ma'am. Really very well said. I think audience who are watching there, especially ladies, it's just one chance. It's just one step you have to take to follow your passion, or whatever you can do. Just start doing. So it will take you places. It will just show you the way what you have to follow. So age doesn't matter. We follow our passion at any point of time. Sometimes we discover our passion in midway of our life. So it's nothing that, it's just that, you have to take a first step. Ma'am, next question, since you're a poet, so I would like to ask, usually people say poets are great lovers. What do you have to say about this? And second question is, when did you fall in love? First fall in love with your husband?
Never. I'm very honest.
तो पहले प्यार तो होगा ना मैम?
देखो, सी, दो तरह का लव होता है. एक ड्यूटी वाला, which I performed 100%. कुकिंग की 40 साल कुकिंग की. I hated cooking. देखो, we had always servants to cook in our house. मदर नहीं थी. मदर के सामने, मदर की थोड़ी तबीयत खराब रहती थी. That time also there were servants. उनके जाने के बाद तो obviously हॉस्टल में रही, no question of cooking. And I had no inclination for cooking. लड़कियों को होता है कुकिंग का, मुझे नहीं था. मुझे खाने का भी शौक नहीं है. अब जिसको खाने का शौक नहीं है उसे बनाने का शौक क्यों होगा? लेकिन 40 साल खाना बनाया क्योंकि बाकी सबको बहुत शौक था, और अच्छा बनाया. तुम खाने आओ तो पता लग जाएगा.
जरूर आऊंगी मैम. I'll definitely come.
That is that is a kind of love कि भाई अब जिससे शादी हुई है उसकी देखभाल भी करनी है, उसकी पसंद का खाना, उसको खाने के शौकीन थे. And all दैट, आई मीन जो भी करना है, झगड़ा कभी नहीं किया। बट जो पोएट वाला लव होता है, देखो गालिब भी अपनी वाइफ को बहुत प्यार करते थे, लेकिन वो उसके नाचने वाली के उस पर भी जाते थे। गालिब जा सकते हैं तो कोई लेडी क्यों नहीं जा सकती? ओनली थिंग इज कि लेडीज डोंट गेट इट।
Exactly.
बट
Yeah.
मेंटली आई वांटेड एन इंटेलेक्चुअल पर्सन। नॉर्मली इंडिया में और मे बी समवेयर एल्स इंटेलेक्चुअल बहुत कम होते हैं। पीपल आर वेरी नॉर्मल, दे आर वेरी गुड, दे आर ओके, नॉट बैड, बट जिसे वो कहते हैं ना कि आदमी अच्छा है, लोग कहते हैं ना बहुत अच्छा आदमी है, आदमी अच्छा है, लेकिन मेरे सपनों में नहीं आता। You can get it.
It's like it can be anything. It can be बोलते हैं ना चाल से प्यार करो, उसकी चाल से प्यार करो या उसके बातों से प्यार करो. It can be anything. The way they talk, or it can be anything. Like
you can admire the qualities.
Yes.
You can admire in that person.
Yes.
If he sings well, you can say, okay, yeah, this is a good. If he's a good human being, you appreciate that. But वो जो romantic love होता है, ये क्रिएट नहीं किया जाता, ये हो जाता है। हो जाता है तो ठीक है, नहीं होता है तो नहीं। मैं समझती हूँ 90% लेडीज जो कहती है अरे हम तो अपने हस्बैंड से बड़ा प्यार करते हैं, विच आई कैन सी कि देयर इज नो मैच, झूठ बोलती है। मैं झूठ नहीं बोलती, आई हैव दिस करेज। और इवन रियल एस्टेट तक करने तक मैं वो काम करती थी जो मेरे हस्बैंड कहते थे भाई ये नहीं है ये करो। अच्छा भाई, मैं शुरू से ओबीडियंट थी अपने फादर का, इवन फादर अंकल एवरीबडी, आई वाज ए ओबीडियंट चाइल्ड, एक्सेप्ट आई वाज a very lonely child, and loneliness gave me books, always reading books, and that gave me my space. Kabhi kabhi loneliness is very beneficial. So all that I couldn't do in front of everybody, being obedient and all that, I would do when I am alone. All my imagination, so I started writing poem from the very beginning. But poem likhi aur bistar ke niche छिपा दी because nobody should see it. शर्म आती थी.
Some secrets as well, I believe.
और वही ओबीडियंस जब हस्बैंड के साथ थी, लेकिन then I realized कि वही वो हमें जो पसंद है he says no, उसे जो पसंद है हाँ. I said I'm going to do this. He said अरे हमसे पूछा नहीं? मैंने कहा no, I'm informing, I'm not asking, and I will never again ask. You are a very negative person, you will say no. ये और बात कि no के बावजूद भी मैं कर लूंगी, but why should I? Now I am informing you, and hence onwards I will keep informing you what I want to do. And I did that. I said 15-20 साल दे दिए तुमको, enough. Now is my time. Yeah. And I think every woman should do it. Every woman should.
Yes. Every woman they should spend some time for themselves, their passion, and they should do something. They should do. Actually, वो बोलते हैं ना आइडेंटिटी, कुछ तो करो कि आप फक्र से बोल सकते हो कि हाँ मैंने ये किया है.
That's what identity होनी चाहिए. And generally men, 80% men, they don't want their wife's identity independently. Exactly. They want their wife's identity through them. ये मेरी wife है, and she's so great. That also. Yes. But she's great because she's your wife. No, I am great because I am me. I am Sudha, or Sudha, Sheila, Savita, whatever I am. That should be. Now coming to painting, bachpan mein, we used to go to Ganga, and as I said, I was a lonely child. I used to. Everybody was laughing. Didi log apne usme group mein, brothers in their own group. I was alone, and I would draw elephant and horses in the sand with finger. My father saw it and appreciated. He encouraged me also. In fact, after that, I won many prizes also for painting, and my art teacher was very impressed and all. But after that, when I came to high school, my father said, "Beta, stop painting. You have to become an IAS officer," which he did not allow me to become. But and obviously पढ़ाई पे जोर था, टॉप करने का एक पैशन था. देखो, if you top up to 8th class, then you become addicted to it. You have to top everything.
Exactly.
You cannot be second to anyone. So that was it.
And मैम इसी बात पर एक पोएम हो जाए.
Poem. Okay.
Viewers, kindly post your comments so that if you have any questions to Sudha ma'am, you can just kindly post so that I can ask her. And if you want to know something more about her, because I'm hardly seeing any comments, please comment so that it will be more lively. Yes,
you are inviting. I mean,
no,
is
I'm
anybody?
telling viewers to post their comments so that in case if they have
That's what.
some questions to ask
Achha,
you.
fine,
Yeah.
fine. Okay. Actually, I was trying to find a poem which I wrote some time back. I always forget. See,
I'm a follower of
400-500
your
poems.
poems, okay? Because I love to read your poems because I also follow your same passion.
One
Yes.
poem I wrote, which was very much appreciated, but I remember only one or two lines. I'm in love with someone who can never be mine, who never can be mine. And I forgot the poem. The idea is that you can't capture the wind, you can't capture the fragrance, but you can love it. So my love life is something like that. Yeah, I'm in love with. It can be a person also. Why not?
Yes.
Who never can be yours. But nobody can stop you from loving. Anyway, I didn't find that poem. It is somewhere in the stack. There are 400-500 poems. I couldn't. I wrote another poem. It's a little long, but anyway, you tell me how much time. All I want. With you, I want to dance. All I want is the title. With you, I want to dance under the strobe lights in a semi dark room to the music pouring out of nowhere. Want to do a close number in a slow matching steps, moving in a trance. You know, that is a beautiful feeling. If you are in love with somebody or if you like somebody and you are in trance, a trance is a beautiful thing. Euphoria,
Yes.
ecstasy, that is everybody. In the pouring rain, hiding my face onto your shoulder. In the pouring rain, hiding my face onto your shoulder, hopping over puddles drenched in romance. In the desert, to a lilting Arabian tune. Arabian music is beautiful.
Yes.
In the desert,
very nice music they have.
yeah. So I want to dance with you in the desert to a lilting Arabian tune, kicking up sandstorm, blocking my glance. You kick up the sand, it will block your glance. Be it sun or rain, in comfort or in pain, be it wild or urbane, on an island or in plain, a hillock or mountain, in the universe, any terrain, once in a lifetime chance. With you, I want to dance.
Very nice. Lovely. Very romantic.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So, I'm a poet, I'm romantic, but since I write very sad and lonely poetry, it is in English. In Hindi or Urdu, generally everybody writes sad poetry because love is always lost. In fact, if you want, I can. सुनाओ?
Yeah.
दिल में उल्फत भरी उसकी वो नजर अब तक है. दिल में उल्फत भरी उसकी वो नजर अब तक है. जादू का और तिलिस्म का वो असर अब तक है. उसको मंजिल समझ के रुक गए थे पल भर को. उसको मंजिल समझ के रुक गए थे पल भर को. जारी लेकिन हमारा देखो ये सफर. रगों में दौड़ते फिरते हुए लहू की जगह. गालिब ने कहा था ना, रगों में दौड़ने फिरने के हम नहीं कायल. आई एम नॉट कोटिंग गालिब. रगों में दौड़ते फिरते हुए लहू की जगह अता जो उसने किया था वो जहर. अपनी आंखों में आंसुओं को छुपाकर हमने मुस्कुराने का एक हम में मुस्कुराने का एक हसीन हुनर अब तक. चलो, इट्स अ लॉन्ग वन. I think that's enough in Hindi. Iska
It's
equivalent to 2
actually
lines
very
in English.
nice because it's actually very nice. I think, ma'am, you can keep it for after 4 or 5 questions of ours. I really want to listen to that poem.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's common in Hindi rather. But in English, I wrote 2 lines. The pain I felt is frozen. The pain I felt is frozen and buried in my heart. The way I laugh and smile is an art. That's it.
Most of us, in fact, we put a mask on our face with a smile. We hide our.
We hide it, and it's not a mask. The face is real, but it's an art. I mean, you have got many expressions. You can choose it.
Yes.
So,
ma'am, you have received audience here to know to let you know she has received 400 certificates of excellence and merits from Poetry Group, and recently she has received honor of Women of Excellence on I think March 21st, I believe, 2021.
Women
so
of Excellence.
How many years of contribution was it? Was it a years or was it a months that you received so many certificates and rewards?
See, my certificates are mostly in poem or some proses, because there was a contest about COVID writing, and they wanted a story. Now, I know that everybody will write about the COVID story and what kind of story they are going to write. Everybody knows. So I wrote a story, Love in the Time of COVID. Used my email, and it was just best. Got a certificate for that. Then recently, I think it was in February, somebody approached me out of blue that I don't even know, Lighthouse. This thing, name is Lighthouse on Facebook.
Okay.
And they said that contest is that you write a letter to yourself when you were 8-year-old.
Yes, yes.
I wrote. So I wrote to myself, to Sudha, telling ki now I know that how it was when you were, I mean, greeting and all that. And I think lastly I read that I'm still that 8-year-old. Don't worry. So, something like that. Now see, I got first prize for that. It was not telecast, I mean, it was given on Facebook. That link was there. Everybody read it. And then the 400-500 were certificates in poem, that is in some, mostly in Poetry Planet, then some in Renaissance. So there are so many groups. I am a member of many poetry groups. So they all keep giving me on and off. So they are only on the basis of my poems. Like that poem which I didn't get. I read that
this one poem what you wrote about writing letter to yourself, to myself. Yeah, I remember reading that. It was posted, in fact, yes.
I got a huge gift for that.
Yes, ma'am.
I got a huge gift also. I mean, it was a big box with so many things.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nice. You have recently published, I think Born to Dream has 33 poems of yours alone. You have published Sparks Under the Ashes and Lone Wanderer. Title itself, I mean, this title itself seems to be like, very interesting and also emotional.
You can see this is my Spark Under the Ashes.
Can you see it? Show it? Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Friends, you can buy this. Where is it available, ma'am? It's available in Amazon?
It is available in Amazon.in.
Okay.
I can send you the link. And this is my Lone Wanderer.
Okay.
And
there are two books which Sudha ma'am has written. Please.
My ghazal book.
Yes, this is in Hindi. Kindly, you can
by the way, this
approach
printing
Amazon.
is mine.
Okay.
Sorry?
And I was just
This
telling
painting and
audience. I was just telling audience to go and buy these books from Amazon. These 3 books, which is written by you, so that they really get to read your poems and your short stories.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am. You were telling me about that Hindi.
My short stories have been published in this. There are other
Yes.
people also who wrote. It's not exclusively mine. Yeah. To that light. Okay. And then this is the book I'm very proud of, Being Me. It was an
Being Me.
interview published in Facebook, and now it has come in book. Out of, I think they have interviewed many people. Out of that, they chose 100, and I'm one of the 100 who
Very
got
good.
featured
Very nice.
with my picture and my biography, you can say, sort of.
Actually, in fact, I should say that I'm proud of myself too, because I'm also part of that group where I can meet people like you, because we met through Poetry Planet. Yes. So it's really nice to be part of that group, because we tend to meet a lot of people there, and I'm one among them. Though I have just started my journey, but really,
I also feel very bad. So
and
do we have?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. No, first you finish.
Next question to you. You're a writer. Always, you don't write on we don't write on ourselves, right? It can be like when you write on any situation or others' reality. Do you put yourself into that character to know them better?
Yes. Tell you what, I have written around more than 50 essays that they are humor. Some on politics, some on social, this thing, mostly on men, because I'm a feminist. And they have been published in Garbdal online magazine. It was later on it came in print media also.
Okay.
But that is humor, sarcasm. And besides, I write about something I'm passionate about, like euthanasia. I say yes to euthanasia. When a person doesn't want to live, see, we have no this thing control whether we want to be born or not. We are just we don't have actually control over death also. But sometimes, if life is really miserable for whatever reason, we should have right to die.
Exactly.
So I wrote very passionately about euthanasia, and it was particularly about that girl Shahnaz, who was for 40 years on ventilator. I can't be on ventilator for 40 days even. 40 years. Why she is not allowed to die? She should have been.
Exactly.
I wrote 2 articles, Hindi and English both. The both were published. इच्छा मृत्यु होनी चाहिए. अरे यार हमारी लाइफ है, हम नहीं जीना चाहते. वो छोटे सुसाइड वाले केस तो नहीं. I don't support that. But as you said, I put myself in that position. It is like that. And some stories also, where anything that touches my heart, I write. Same for poetry. I don't manufacture poetry. It comes out. Sometimes when I'm sleeping and I'm not able to sleep, there is some poem takes birth, and I switch on the lamp. I just write it down in my diary, which I keep below my pillow. So
did you come across anyone? Did you come across anyone saying, in case if you have written on love failure or something like unsatisfied?
Love in the time of COVID.
Yes. No, not during time of COVID. Like any time for that matter, maybe unsatisfied with your life or with whatever, like in life. So did anyone ask you, is it your life story? Because what happens is, for people like who are non-writers, they feel that whatever we write, that will be based on our story. Like we write about someone, maybe negative or emotional poems or stories. They feel, oh, now Sudha ma'am or Veena, okay, I think she's going through this. Because these kind of comments I have come across. So I just wanted to know, like, do you also come across because I think people should very well understand we are writers, and we can write about anyone, any situation. So I really wanted to know, like, what do you have to say about it?
See, I tell you one example. My friends are very fond of my poetry. And in fact, there is a one lady who is a shayad Malayali, but she knows Hindi. Knows Hindi means when you learn a second language, you learn it little bit. But she reads my poems on Facebook and she comments in WhatsApp कि ये सुधा तो दिल निचोड़ लेती है. And they say सुधा तुम्हारी पोइट्री में हमें रोना आ जाता है. भाई ठीक है. And I am a very happy person. I always laugh. She says, तो लगता नहीं है कि तुम ऐसी हो. मैंने कहा यही तो है. It's an art. Then one day, one commented कि Sudha, you must have been very intensely in love with somebody. अब इसका क्या जवाब? Before your marriage. And they put the condition before your marriage. I said, look, I could be after my marriage also. Flabbergasted. Why before my marriage? I could be in love with after. Love has no control. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. Then she said, how can you write such poetry? I said, look, I am a devotee of Krishna. Radha, I am not Radha. I am Meera. They agreed. Immediately they understood that there could be a Meera also. If you don't find somebody suitable, you don't find. You have to do without it.
Yes, true.
Anything else? And I always answer any question.
Okay. Now we are going to have a one-word answer. I'm going to ask you some questions wherein you will be answering only in one word, not more than that. Were you naughty or daydreamer during your childhood?
Say it again.
Were you naughty?
Was I lucky?
Or were you naughty or daydreamer?
I was a daydreamer. I was a daydreamer and I was a philosopher. In fact, I wrote in my book that I was born 100-year-old. I was a very sober, very serious person, mostly philosopher, thinking of death and life and people were amazed that at the age of 9 years or 10 years, she's thinking of death and discussing it. Not in a morbid way, in a philosophical way. So, and I was a daydreamer because I was very lonely. I had nothing else to do, either read books, and books were my saving grace. When I got the books.
Your friend, your bestie.
That was my life-saving thing. And until today, I read books every day. Can't live without reading.
Okay. Now over to second question. What would you like to write? Love story, tragedy, or thriller stories? What would you like to write? Love story, tragedy, or thriller?
Not thriller, definitely. What is the first thing you said?
Love story.
Love story, and then?
Tragedy.
Tragedy. No, see, when I studied literature in my early teens and high school and intermediate, there was a thing that how to write a story. I mean, it was not for us. It was the big people, the Premchand and all those big writers. The story must have a beginning, a plot, a beginning. Plot means middle, and the ending should have a moral. So it should be meaningful. You just can't write anything and say it is a story. No, it has to have. So I won't write thriller. It's not in me. But yes, love story and tragedy with a proper ending. It has to give a message. So all my 10, 15 stories which I have written, they have got a message. They are all published. Generally, I don't write a story, but sometimes I do.
Okay. And if you're in a noisy place, what kind of poems would you write? If you're in a noisy place, very distractive place, what kind of poem would you write?
In a noisy place.
Yes.
See, again, I will give you an example. When I was in class 7th, we were given a homework, write an essay on Diwali. And essay was one thing I used to write extempore. And next day
Okay.
I had to, and my father used to switch off lights at 10 o'clock in the night. That day there was a function, homely function going on, dholak, harmonium and all that. My bua, aunt, my father's sister, she was there, and she came to my room and dragged me. Everybody is there having fun, dancing and this thing, and this girl is sitting here writing something. And yaar, bua, I have to write it. No, nothing. Luckily, she dragged me and I held my book copy and pencil, pen in hand, went. And then she said, I'm doing the dholak. Dholak, dholak fisal jati hai. So you hold it with your foot. Okay. I held it, my foot, and as your knees are bent, I kept my book over there. It was, what do I say, clamor all around. Singing, dancing, dholak, bajira, harmonium, everything. And I was writing my essay. I switched off. I have that capability. If wherever I am, if I have to do something, I switch off the noise. That's it. And I wrote that essay. I got, very good on that all. And I wrote in that noise, clamor.
Pen or painting brush? Next question. Pen or painting brush?
I can't hear
Next
you properly.
question. Huh? Next question. What would you like to have it in your hand? Pen or painting brush?
No, see, it is something like that. Whatever my mood is. Now with the painting, I love brush. But the thing is, I have made so many paintings. Nothing sells. And there is no place to keep. Writing is something you can write, you can get published. So I have stopped painting. I mean, I can paint, but where to keep, what to do with it? It's just a small this thing I want. Unless you have a question, I want to tell about painting also. You need to ask a question. You do it first. Any question?
On what, ma'am?
No, I mean, you are asking questions, or shall I tell about my painting journey also? In short?
Yes.
See, when I finished 15 years and I said I built the house, and I was not able to do justice with my real estate. But in the meantime, with that income, real estate income, I made my 2 daughters do MBA from Goa. Okay. Then they got married also, and everybody settled, my son also. And I was rather morose that I'm not going to do this thing properly. So my younger daughter, Riju, we call her Tilly. Just a minute. We call her Tilly. She said, Mummy, we are all settled. You have struggled enough. And when I was doing real estate, sometimes I used to come at 9 or 10 o'clock from my round. My husband said, nobody works that late. I said, real estate people do. And when I work like a man. I'm not working like a woman. And I have guts that nobody can misbehave with me, which I had. Nobody could dare to misbehave with me. So what I mean is that I said, I was so this thing, and no, I can't do it. I can't be punctual, can't. And then there are overheads, no income. So she said, "No, Mummy, why do you want to struggle all that much? Stop it." I said, "Stop it means again there is a vacuum. What do I do?" She smiled and she said, "Mummy, you do what you always wanted to do and never were able to do it." I said, "Well, I always wanted to read and nobody could stop me." She said, "I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your painting." Nobody allowed you to. That was true. I had a passion. I said, "But after 40 years, I can't paint. I've never held a brush in my hand." She said, "So what?" And by evening, she brought pencil, rubber, canvas, paper, so many things. I was running a house. I was capable. I'm, always very conscious of expenses. We were not very rich, just middle class. And she said, "Mummy, so much money has been spent, don't waste it." She knew Mummy can't waste it.
But it's so nice to motivate you. Huh? She's
my children. Yes, my children always. In fact, अगर मेरे husband ने sometimes discourage भी किया, तो children came to my defense. ये क्या है पापा, मम्मी करेगी ना. So then
Yes,
I
yes.
started painting at home for 1 year, and I thought that and just this is a hobby to fill my time. Uh, it's no good. So I kept painting, and my children kept putting on, getting them, framed and put them on the wall and all that. But
To
whenever
encourage
any
you
guest,
more.
uh, yeah, they
To
are
encourage you more. Yes, yes.
very much. And when everybody came, they admired those paintings. Then I said, oh, yeah, sure, that they are good also.
Yeah.
So then I started making big paintings. But then I felt that I have got a limitation. How much imagination you can have? So
Exactly.
I joined Chitrakala Parishad. It is the best institute. And they don't teach you anything. They just motivate you to do something. In fact, the best compliments I got there, they said, Madam, have you come to teach or learn? I said, of course I have come to learn. And they said, but you know it. That you have seen that Dashta Tanhai painting. That is a painting of broken woman.
Uh-huh.
This I painted. They gave a sort of not homework, classwork, and I just painted on a piece of paper. And they
Very
said,
nice.
"Madam, go and paint it on canvas." Then I painted it on big canvas at home, and
Very
it
nice.
was so
Lovely.
much at and all that. I had a very good time. Then I had some exhibitions, sold paintings there, over all that, but not much. People don't buy paintings, so that was my journey of painting. This is what I wanted to tell you.
Very nice. Now, ma'am, what would you like to have on your face? Because now, COVID pandemic is going on. So, is it mask or holy color?
क्या क्या मास्क और
होली कलर, होली होली खेलते हैं ना हम लोग.
अच्छा होली
होली,
कलर.
होली का रंग. What would you
नहीं
like to
अभी
have
तो
it on
होली
your?
कलर का तो नहीं नहीं होली कलर का तो कोई चांस नहीं है अभी.
क्योंकि इंडिया में तो मास्क उतार कर होली खेल रहे हैं, खेल रहे थे ना.
अरे होली वाज माय फेवरेट फेस्टिवल. I was fond of dancing also, let me tell you that. So होली का फंक्शन हम लोग करते थे, almost around 30-35 ladies together, and gents आ जाते हैं तो doesn't matter, and I used to dance. जो लोग गा सकते थे वो गाते गाते थे and all that. But later on, when that disintegrated that group, see, Holi is a function you enjoy in group only. Otherwise, there is no fun. तो बहुत दिनों से होली नहीं खेली. Even in Lions Club, etc., I used, I organized a function for ladies' night. And I said, why don't we dance? And everybody said, are you mad? There are men. I said, so? They are our husbands, our brothers, our all known and friends. They
Exactly,
are not
exactly.
people. So what's the problem? No, हम लोग को शर्म आती है. मैंने कहा fine. I wanted a group dance actually, and they were not ready. I said fine, I will do a solo dance. Hey, you will do a solo dance? Everybody ready? We did solo. We did duet. We did group dance also. 3 dances we did, and we did a very good function. Stage लगा करके Lions Club ने every year. So I'm fond of dramatics and all that also. Acting, dramatics. Only thing is कि आप सब जगह नहीं जा सकते. Writing is the safest place. You just sit at home and do it.
Exactly, true. So it's like what comes to our mind, we write. True. Ma'am, when someone says you are old, what do you have to say?
See, I said you see me old. I would rather say I am matured. I'm not old. I'm younger than you.
Yes.
In fact, I forgot. I have written a poem, My Age. It says somebody asked me, what is your age? And I said, let me calculate. And then with all permutation and combinations, the moments which I have not lived, I minused it, eliminated. So now to tell you, to give the answer to you, I'm only 22. The period I have not lived is not my age. My age is what I'm living. I'm only 22. You can think whatever you like. Actually, I have seen in those groups, Lions Club and all, किसी को लड़के ने आंटी जी कह दिया, बुरा मान जाती थी. मुझे भी कह दिया, यार मुझसे 4 साल छोटा है, मुझे आंटी जी बोल रहा है. हाँ बेटा, कोई बात नहीं. सुधा, तुम्हें बुरा नहीं लगता? मैं कहा यार अगर मैं उसे आंटी लगती हूँ तो वो आंटी कहेगा ना, दादी भी कह सकता है, और जिसे मैं महबूबा लगती हूँ वो मुझे महबूबा कहेगा। तो लेट देम थिंक व्हाट दे वांट, हाउ डज इट मैटर टू मी।
Exactly.
ना मैं
Yeah.
उनकी आंटी बन जाऊंगी ना मैं उनकी महबूबा बन जाऊंगी। सो चलता है। इट डजंट
Until
अफेक्ट मी।
I think we have passion in ourselves. I think we are still young. The moment your passion ends, you're totally old. वो
यस,
बोलते हैं ना.
सो आई एम नेवर गोइंग टू बी ओल्ड, आई एम यंग। 22 से
You
23
should.
हो
I
जाऊंगी।
think all of us should have that hunger in us to live a life. How do they live? It's left to them.
एग्जैक्टली, I write with the same passion a 25-year or 35-year person, man or woman, would write. They have that gut. I also.
Yeah.
I always take up challenges in the groups on Facebook and all, and even otherwise. They say it's a challenge. All right, I'll do it. In fact, there was one challenge from Poetry Planet group, that audio video. They said this time we want a spoken poetry. Hey, I don't know. I don't know technology. I'm a technologically challenged person. I said I can't do it. I can't make video. All right. And that admin likes me a lot because she has published the books with my 33 poems and all the certificates and excellence awards she has given. I said I can't do it. Okay. Then one time I asked, look, can I try? She said today is the last day. It is over. I said, oh, acha, I didn't know. She said, right now you do it. I will take it. Immediately I ran, I did my hair, I changed my dress because it was a video. And picked up my old poem and I tried to do it. जो भी कुछ हुआ कर लिया, बना करके भेज दिया. I got first prize for that. After that, they had this spoken poetry challenge, 6 poems. I was the winner.
Okay.
I don't know technology.
Here I have one of my friend. She said she loved your poem, what you read. Loved it with you. I would dance. So she liked your poem, and I would like to tell her also. She's a teacher, and she has many talents in her. My friend, I would not name her here. So in this today's episode, I would like to tell her she has a lot of talents. I think, my dear friend, you will have to come out of this and start what you like. So you have she's a very passionate lady. Like, she loves what she does. So she's very aggressive, she's very hardworking, but also I think it's right time for you to start your passion, what you love, do it. And yes. So, ma'am, last question. What is life, family, and passion for you? One liner.
See, life is the moment. Life is simply a moment.
Wow.
There is no point in living in past, and you can't have future.
Predict future, yes.
And passion, of course, you should have passion to live this life, this moment.
Yes.
And sometimes I want to just fall asleep. I just go and fall asleep. I leave everything and go and sleep.
Yes.
Otherwise, all night I write.
Usually they say these artists, writers, painters, we are very lazy too, because even I do that sometimes. Entire day I waste my entire day, and I think, what did I do? Because we are also lazy. Though we work hard other days, we do a lot of things, but then one fine day we feel that, okay, chodo yaar, sab kuch chhod do, aaj sona hai. Just cuddle yourself.
Try to do what you like.
Yes, very true.
But like means like intensely. It's not that you're whiling away time. Now in COVID time, nobody is allowed to go out, at least my age. So should we keep crying and whiling away? Oh, we are bored. I never get bored. One thing, I never get bored. I don't have time to get bored. When people say, Oh, how do you spend your time? I said, time is less for me. I need 2 more hours. Instead of 24, I need 26 hours in life. I have so much to do.
And
And I'm a
family?
very happy person. Despite writing my sad poetry, I'm a very happy person. Happiness is the main thing. One should be happy. One should never. And they said, then
I
why
think
do you do
we should find happiness during our bad times also, because that's something we have to experience our bad time to come to face our life more beautiful. It makes our life more beautiful and more confident as a
correct?
person.
Bilkul. Happiness is always within you. You have to find it. You have to create it sometimes.
Exactly,
Because there is
exactly.
no point in being unhappy. That is a waste of time, waste of life,
Yes.
and waste of time. So one must be happy. And when they ask you, my friends, they ask you, then why do you write such a sad poetry? You make us cry. I said, look, when I am unhappy, I pour down that unhappiness on paper and I keep my
Yes,
happiness
yes.
within me. It is a
Okay, what
wealth.
about family, ma'am? One liner for family.
Family is fine. I mean, what do I say? Family is supportive. Family, when you have family, you may not realize, but inside you, you know the people are there for you.
Strength,
It's
they are your
important.
strength.
Family is very important. Particularly, my children now they are far away. One is in Australia, one lives 20 kilometers away, and all that. But I know they are there. That is family. Even within between husband and wife. See, those who have love marriage also, after 10 years, love goes out of the window. So that is a myth. So love or not, but that bond is there.
Yes.
And you are there for each other. When my husband fell sick, 24 hours I was there, taking him to toilet, feeding him and all that. Now he is not there. But had he been there, he would have been for me also. But he is not there, that is different thing. So family is important. Now I have children, they're all for me. And I
I
am
feel,
also.
ma'am, what do you have to say? I feel after 10, though it is love marriage or arranged marriage, it's not that love gets faded. I feel it's like partners take granted for each other, or they
Yeah,
ignore, or they get
that is
busy
it.
with their life. So I think somewhere down the line, we should make at least 1 hour spend time with your partner. Maybe just talking normal things. You need not always you know uh,
That happens even. In fact, that happens more in arranged marriage because you feel you are obliged to do that. Love marriage, you start taking granted. But
exactly.
in either love or arranged, the romance goes out somehow.
Yes,
Really.
after a while,
That is
because maybe people get matured or get busy, more of future worries.
और भी गम है जमाने में मोहब्बत के सिवा. That's what.
Ma'am, over to your Hindi poem. I think viewers are also waiting to listen to your Hindi poem.
Oh, Hindi poem. Okay.
We'll end this episode with your Hindi poem.
मैं एक बजाय इंस्टेड ऑफ लव मैं एक डिफरेंट. चलो, मैंने मीरा की बात की थी. मीरा जैसी मेरी कहानी, मीरा जैसी मेरी कहानी, ना कदम्ब ना ही जमुना का पानी. कदम का पेड़ होता है ना. If people have not heard it, that Vrindavan Mathura में, it's where the Krishna used to play his flute under kadam tree. मीरा जैसी मेरी कहानी, ना कदम ना ही जमुना का पानी, कान्हा को देखा सपनों में, दुनिया की कोई बात न मानी, सुन मुरली की मीठी बानी, हो गई मैं तो प्रेम दीवानी. राधा जैसा प्यार न जानी, राधा जैसा प्यार न जानी, रात मिलन की न शाम सुहानी, बस दुनिया की रस्म निभानी, तेरी मैं तो प्रेम दीवानी. मृगजल की सुंदरता फानी, मृगजल, that what do you call it, मिराज, मृगजल. मृगजल की सुंदरता फानी, पड़ी गरल से प्यास बुझानी, जरज मीन्स जहर, पॉइजन। मीरा ने पिया था ना विष का प्याला। फिर मृगजल की सुंदरता फानी, फानी मीन्स टेम्पररी। पड़ी गरज से प्यास बुझानी, कहने को महलों की रानी, क्योंकि मैं तो प्रेम दीवानी, तेरी मैं तो प्रेम दीवानी। मीरा जैसी मेरी कहानी। और अरेंज मैरिज पे एक छोटी सी कविता है, नाजों में पली, नाजों में मिली, टेंडरली ब्रॉट अप।
यस यस।
बाबुल की अलबेली बिटिया, बाबुल की अलबेली बिटिया, माँ की नाजुक कली, कितने नाजों में पली। फूल बनी घर आंगन छूटा, when you grow up, कली से फूल बनना। फूल बनी घर आंगन छूटा, मुझसे मेरा बचपन रूठा, सजना के संग चली, कितने नाजों में पली। सपनों का सौदागर छूटा, देखो शादी तो हो गई, सजना के संग चली, लेकिन सपनों का सौदागर छूटा। उसने मेरा मधुवन लूटा, उसने मेरा मधुवन लूटा, कैसे गई मैं छली, कितने नाजों में पली। पांव में पड़ गए हैं छाले, कहाँ गए जो ख्वाब थे पाले, दूर पिया की गली, कितने नाजों में पली। कहाँ पेड़ हैं साए वाले, शेड वाले ट्री, शेडी ट्रीज, कहाँ पेड़ हैं साए वाले, लिए आंख में बादल काले, आंसू बादल काले, कड़ी धूप में जली, कितने नाजों में।
It sounds
ये उस लड़की की कविता है जिसकी छोटी उम्र में शादी हो जाती है।
आपका भी ले सकते हैं।
सभी all the girls are brought up in a very loving way, all that, और शादी होते ही सिनेरियो चेंज हो जाता है। You have to look after, nobody looks after you, you have to look after everybody. You have to please 10 people. Those 10 people can't please you alone. A single person. A single person has to go and please 10 people. That's the tragedy.
That's a tragedy for all of us.
Of lady, okay, woman.
All ladies. Ma'am, thanks for coming to this show. And with this Kavita, we end this show. And my friends, what ma'am says is follow your passion, not your age. Kindly follow your passion, not your age. Your dreams, your be a daydreamer, be a dreamer, and follow your heart. Do whatever you want to do right now. There's no day,
and
there's
keep
no
on
age.
dreaming.
Yes,
keep on dreaming.
The day you stop dreaming, yes. So ma'am says keep on dreaming. So that's how you'll be lively. Your life goes on with so many things, with so many tears, with so many problems, but keep smiling. Search for happiness in your sad moments also. So that's what today ma'am was also saying. So keep smiling. And with this, we end the show. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here. And we really had a great time.
Thanks, Tina, for inviting me.
Audience, do not forget to like this show and kindly like my VPN pages also to watch more episodes with more guests. Thank you so much. Namaste. Namaste, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Namaste, Adab. When I read my ghazal, I say Adab. so that's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you everybody who attended. मुझे बर्दाश्त करने के लिए शुक्रिया.
नहीं, it was very nice. Thank you, ma'am. Bye. We'll keep in touch.
Sure.